I was looking around this place that was a cave. There were actually many caves that had a lot of souls. These damned souls were chained and the fire burned them, and these souls were being tortured by the demons. God said the sin of the person here on earth is the cause of suffering there in hell. I suddenly started looking up, and souls of newly dead people were falling into that place every minute and every second. For a minute that pass, more than 1,000 souls of men and women are falling in the pit of fire. People fell like drop of rain in that place. Among them I saw a young man that fell in that place. He didn't even hit the ground, and the demons began to stab him with a dagger in the belly and in the chest, and that young man cried out for help, but there was no help there. I said, God can't help this young man? And God told me there is no help here. The pains was worse than we feel here on earth. In hell our body is a lot more real than here on earth, and I felt the sense of anguish because people are real in hell with their body of sin that they gain when they die, leaving salvation behind them. In this place there is no water, but souls that cries kept asking for water, and people feel very thirsty with dry mouth. I felt sorry for that young man, but I could do nothing. Suddenly I started to look sideways into those caves, and depending on the sin of people here on earth, they are suffering in hell. The people who suffer the most there are the killers. People who take the lives of others like witches suffer the most in hell. I saw demon of more than 3 meters high, demons of 4 and 5 meters high. I saw skeleton demon with horns and huge red eyes with big ears. They had teeth all out like big fangs, and they had a huge fork in their hand, with which they pierced souls burning in the fire. Thousands of demons were torturing souls, and the demons had no pity. I looked to the side of these caves. I saw huge demons dragging lesser demons. In fact, these huge demons were tormenting smaller demons and burned them in the fire. I wonder why demons were tormented by these huge demons in the fire. I used to think that in hell damned souls are tormented in the fire, not demons. The Lord said, when a demon receives an order from Satan to come to earth to conquer a soul of a man, when he failed to capture and chain the soul in order to drag him to hell, he will be tortured. A believer filled with the Holy Spirit that intercede and cry for souls will cause God to interfere and sends his angels to fight for souls that are threatened by demons, and the demons would fail in their mission to capture the soul, and it will be a defeat. The demon will be forced to return to hell, and he will be punished. In hell I saw a hierarchy underworld where Satan was the commander-in-chief, and he commanded high-rank demons who were the generals. These generals were huge demons of 3, 4 and 5 meters high. They are called legions because they command legions of demons that are under their leadership. These legions commands lesser demons that travel to earth to destroy and enter people's body. They cause the people to commit murder, homicide, stabbing. They influence people to kill and commit suicide. When demons are deployed on the land, the higher-rank demons stay in hell commanding and monitoring the operation of these legions that do everything to kill and reap innocent souls, knowing that if they fail to conquer souls of men when they return to hell, they will be tormented and burned in fire. I saw several small demons being dragged by greater demons, and they were dragged to the fire, and they screamed because they were burned for a while in a fire. That's why when demons are sent here to earth, they go to any length to fulfill their mission. They do everything to kill and destroy, otherwise they will be tortured and afflicted there in the fire of hell. I saw the demons getting hate from high-rank demons to come here on earth to take the lives to hell, and the demon went up to reap souls, but when he arrives he found a believer praying and interceding. They could not conquer the life of this saint. That's why, brother, we have to walk in holiness. We cannot corrupt ourselves because the devil walks around us offering the trays of sin. God told me that 80% of pastors are going to this place of torment. I was contemplating the punishment of demons. Suddenly something calls my attention. It was the meeting of demons that was happening in a huge cave. They were sitting before a round table, and the table was huge. Demons, general commanders that command legions, sat before this round table all together with Satan. Only the commander demons that were part of that meeting. Lesser demons were not allowed to be a part of that meeting. Only Satan and the demons who commanded the legions of demons. And Satan said to them, "Our biggest concern on earth is not the evangelical churches. Most of us are concerned with these believers who are full of the Holy Spirit of God, and they disturbs us with their prayers. We have to make them lose the Holy Spirit, and there's only one way for them to lose the Holy Spirit, and the only way is through sin and through the things of the world. So let's introduce worldliness within the churches, starting with the altars and the pulpit. Let's corrupt the shepherds. I stood contemplating Satan giving order to the demons to come introduce worldliness and sin within the churches to corrupt the altars and cause the believers to sin, so that they will to lose God's Holy Spirit. Unfortunately, this has happened, for sin of vanity and worldliness has entered within the evangelical churches, and God spoke to me. 80% of leaders and the evangelicals are going to hell because they have allowed the sin and worldliness get into the evangelical churches. Brother, the enemy is not worried about the church. Satan is worried about believers who still have the Holy Spirit of God.